There are two ways to diagnose pregnancy, a blood test or a urine test, and both are detecting the presence of HCG, which is a hormone that a woman's body starts to release early in pregnancy. Levels usually rise exponentially until about 8 to 11 weeks gestation. A blood test can measure levels much more sensitively than a urine test, and it can also detect pregnancy earlier. In fact, a blood test can usually detect pregnancy 6 to 8 days from the time of suspected conception, or about a week before the woman would notice a missed period. But a urine test usually doesn't detect HCG levels until around the time of the woman's missed period. And for this reason, the first sign of pregnancy is a missed period. If the day ever comes that your period should have started and it didn't, then that's when you should take a home pregnancy test. Sometimes false negative pregnancy test results can be seen if the test is taken too soon. So some women get excited, they want to know as soon as possible if they're pregnant, and they take the test maybe 3 to 5 days before their period should start. If you see a negative at this point, then wait until your period should start. Don't give up all hope yet, and see if your period starts. And if it doesn't, again, then take a test. Sometimes that one is even still falsely positive. So if you go another week without starting your period, then take another test. Basically, the time at which you see a positive urine test is largely dependent on the time you ovulated. And usually you ovulate about mid-cycle, or 12 to 16 days before your next period should start, meaning that you should see a positive urine pregnancy test around, 2 weeks from that point. But if you ovulate later than the norm, then you might not see positive pregnancy test results until 3 to 5 days after your missed period. So if you ever have a question about the results you're seeing from home, call your doctor and they can then decide if further investigation is necessary, like a blood test, and that will help you know for sure if you're pregnant or not. If you have more questions for me in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.